Eyewitness News continues to bring you in-depth coverage of tonight's breaking news. 3 people lost their lives in the Boston Marathon bombings, and more than 260 others were injured, leaving many lives impacted forever by the tragedy.
And joining us with reaction to today's verdict from survivors is Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Sullivan.
Well, shortly after the verdict was read, one of the bombing survivors spoke outside of the courthouse and said Dzhokhar Tsarnaev's lack of reaction did not surprise her.
I would have been more frustrated if he had shown it, because throughout this whole thing, he's been, to use my word, arrogant, walking in and out of the courtroom, and completely disinterested. So if I saw anything from him today, I would have been a little more frustrated.
Now, another victim impacted by the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings was Heather Abbott of Newport. She lost one of her legs in the bombings, and Eyewitness News has been following Heather's progress since the attacks. As she previously told us, she has been following the trial since it began. And tonight, Abbott released the following statement on her Facebook page. It says, quote, "Thanks to everyone who reached out today and have continued to support me and the other bombing victims and their families over the last 2 years. Nothing can ever replace the lives that were lost or changed forever, but at least there is some relief in knowing that justice is served and responsibility will be taken." Now, with this first phase of the trial completed and the jury finding Tsarnaev guilty on all 30 counts, do victims feel some sort of closure? We'll have that reaction coming up new at 6. I'm Kelly Sullivan, Eyewitness News.
Our in-depth coverage of this breaking news continues. Now, after the verdict was reached, one survivor spoke outside of the courthouse on behalf of all of them.
And new at 6, we're also hearing from UMass Dartmouth, the school where Tsarnaev was a student at the time of the attacks. Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Sullivan joins us now live in the newsroom.
Well, the judge informed everyone to remain quiet as the verdict was read, but after Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was found guilty on all 30 counts, some survivors spoke out outside the courthouse. And bombing survivor Karen Broussard says she is grateful the prosecution took the time to go through everything to make sure the right outcome happened. She says Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is a grown man and made choices knowing what the outcome would be. Though despite the guilty verdict, Broussard says it still doesn't provide closure to the damage that has been done to so many.
It's not something that you'll ever be over. You know, you'll feel it forever. There'll always be something that brings it back to the forefront. But we're all going to move on with our lives, and we're all going to get back to some sense of normalcy, hopefully, when this is all done.
UMass Dartmouth issued a statement on the verdict, quote, "We are keeping the victims of the Boston Marathon tragedy in our thoughts and prayers. The university is proud to support senior nursing student Renee Lawrencell and business professor Adam Slukowski, who will be running in the Boston Marathon this year to raise funds for the Crystal Campbell Scholarship." The school says Renee and another runner raised $6,000 for that scholarship fund last year. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Kelly Sullivan, Eyewitness News.